All right. So the question is, will silver futures get crushed this week? I don't know. Let's take a look at the analysis, shall we? All right. So you can refer to my other video, the other long form video about silver, which was showing this count terminating somewhere down in this area, which it did so far. We got a nice reaction off of it. The issue is, per Elliott wave standards, there's not a standard looking impulse in here. I mean, price is going higher, so that is something. The way it's measuring is less than ideal. Although I did take a calculated risk and add a second long position in my account. So really what I'm looking at right now, ideally, because of the way this terminated right there, that could be the low. And again, for greater context, just go back and look at my other silver video, the long form video from 2 weeks ago. Um, in any case, we are in an area that could be the low. Price is moving up higher. The way I'm looking at this, the ideal scenario for bulls is for the open tonight and overnight, the price does not come back down and try to get into this zone again. It keeps going. And ideally, if anything, I can see it getting up above this zone. If it can make it directly above this zone before breaking down before this zone. Now, look, I'm splitting hairs here. I'm just sharing with you the ideal scenario for bulls would be that after the open tonight, price continues to go higher directly. And if anything, gets a back test somewhere above this zone. You've got all this daylight in this area. Price has crisscrossed this whole area, right? Came all the way down through it once, couldn't get above it. Then it got above it, went to this zone and created this zone, which is interesting because it lines up with several other price points over to the left, which is what we do. We always look to the left. Even in an Elliott wave, you're looking to the left to get your measurements. Well, just like scalpers or people using supply demand zones and other fib setups, you're also looking to the left. So what is past is prologue. So we have to look left. And when I look left, this is a very important level up here. Call it 3031. So I would be delighted if price can, tonight at the open, get above this zone right here. And at some point earlier in the week, make it all the way up to, just call it 3031. Make it all the way up to here before any meaningful pullback. I think the worst thing for bulls, and I got to be honest, looking at the structure of this move, it just doesn't look great, and it's somewhat overlapping, and it's overlapping the whole time, right? Even though it's advancing and it's making higher highs, it's making higher lows. So that counts for something, right? Price action, higher highs, higher lows. That's great. But what we would rather have seen is something a little bit more standardish along Elliott wave standards. But that in and of itself tells you something, that perhaps this is some kind of a diagonal forming. I mean, look at it, all this overlap, and so we'll see. But if bulls get their wish, it's not going to get below 29.50 tonight, and it's just going to keep going. Maybe it rattles around in this zone, but eventually gets above here, does a back test, and then boom, this move from down here to up here would be freaking awesome. Really, really perfect for bulls, actually, if it can just come right up to this zone tonight, or early in the week. Worst case scenario is it comes down here. If it gets below this zone, oh man. And then if it keeps coming and see where this red arrow is, to me, I'm probably going to, I have two positions, one from here and one from lower over here. So if it starts to come back, I'll probably take off the one if it gets down kind of in this zone. Now you can see this candle right here. This is only a 34-minute chart, by the way. So this is really just me trying to keep an eye on the micro tonight and overnight. But this zone right here, if price comes down, there is some liquidity in here. If price wants to come down to here, that's about all I'll give it before I just take off the second contract that I just added down here, which in history will show whether or not I got an amazing entry or not. But we will find out. It's not up to me. Price is king. So, I mean, really, that's all I have to say is, call it really below here, and it's the bulls are just sucking wind again. So call it 28.90 to the downside. Ideally, you don't even see below 29.50 tonight. I mean, that's a tall ask. But hey, man, if this is really going to be in a wave 3 up off the bottom with some kind of a 1-2, and if it's going to get above here and keep going. Otherwise, it's going to break 29.50 first, then it's going to break 29.25, and then it's going to break 28.90. And then really the next ideal area to start looking for some kind of a reaction is down here. I mean, again, this is ideal. Ideally 28, call it 28.46. If it busts all the support that we see in these areas right coming down here, if it breaks these levels of support, then the last chance is for it to hold down here 28.46. If that breaks, then all of this is still this. See how this wave 4 right here? If it doesn't get above 29.70, if it just fails tonight, right, and starts breaking 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of support, this week or, towards the end of the week, or the point is, if it's just heading down impulsively, because this would be impulsive looking. This is the other great thing about Elliott wave is the clues that we can get based on the character of the waves. Once you understand the character of the waves and you understand the fib levels of those potential wave areas, and you notice the character, you learn the character of the wave, the character of the price action during certain waves is very informative. So if this starts looking like it's creating some kind of an impulse lower, that's your first clue, breaking these support levels in an impulsive manner versus a corrective manner. These are wonderful clues without ever looking at a single indicator, just looking at price. I guess that's really the beautiful thing about Elliott wave is it's literally looking at price action almost exclusively. Of course, you can add your other methodologies as well. So in my case, I'm only looking at the structure of price and these levels. So if this is going to start breaking these levels impulsively, I may take off my first position my second position. I may take it off prematurely. In other words, book the gains, take the money, take some money. I could take both positions off right here and it would be an amazing scalp. But because of how long silver's been in this range and because this is a reasonable area for it to bottom, I'm taking the risk right now to leave both positions on. So that's it. That's what I got. Keep following. Look, if you're not subscribing and you want to get updates during the week, super short videos updating just where we're at with these parameters, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button to help me out. Hit the subscribe button. I'll keep making the videos. I'll start branching out, actually making more videos about slightly increasing the type of instruments, gold, silver, crude oil, indexes like NASDAQ and S&P. Over time, I will be posting more of those videos. Anyway, thanks for watching and good luck to you. Bye-bye.